Good morning, people of the page. Um, so I was just thinking the other day. I really wanted to record this one yesterday. Um, Actually, the day before yesterday, I never got around to it. But the Lord took me to Job. Um, he was asking Job, were you here for when I made the world and stuff like that? And so now you hear all this stuff today about the matrix and what do they call it, the simulation or whatever, about the James Webb telescope find the outer reaches of the universe. I mean, it's like, granted, it's one thing to see it, but it's one thing to know that we were already told about that in the book of Job. I already told about that. He's talking about whenever I made the fountains, the D. Oh, I'm just to read it. All right. So, a lot of these things we've been told about. We just, since most of us don't read the word, we don't know. You know what I mean? So here in Job 38, we have the Lord challenges Job. When the Lord answered Job from the whirlwind, who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me, if you know so much, who determines its dimensions and stretched out the surveying line? Who supports the foundations and who laid its cornerstone? As the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy. Who kept the sea inside its boundaries? Now, I'm just reading little by little. Uh, have you ever commanded the morning to appear? Have you made the daylight spread to the ends of the earth? Do you realize the extent of the earth? Tell me about it if you know. Where does the light come from? And where does the darkness go? Have you visited the storehouses of snow or seen the storehouses of hail? Who created the channel for the torrents of rain? Who laid out the path for the lightning? Can you direct the movement of the stars, binding the cluster of the Pleiades or loosening the cords of Orion? Can you direct the constellations through the seasons or guide the bear with her cubs across the heavens? Do you know the law of the universe? Can you use them to regulate the earth? Can you shout to the clouds to make it rain? Can you make lightning appear and cause it to strike you direct? Who gives intuition to the heart and instinct to the mind? Who is wise enough to count all the clouds? Who can lift the water jars of heaven when the parched ground is dry and the soil is hardened to clods? So I mean, this also goes on, but he pretty much says, he made the limits of these things. It ain't nothing new. This is something we all should have been knowing. You know what I mean? It ain't no need to psych out, be like, oh, it's a simulation. No, this is how God made it. You know what I say? This is how God made it. Come on now. Get with the program.